The first time I saw 180/99 flash on Grandpa's blood pressure monitor, my heart clenched. The room went still, so still I could hear every breath, every beep. I turned to him and asked, "Is this right?" He smiled that familiar smile, calm and unbothered like it was just another number. But I couldn't smile back. I couldn't ignore it. There he sat, slightly hunched, hands trembling just a bit, and suddenly I wasn't just looking at a screen. I was staring at a warning, a quiet one, the kind life gives you before it takes something away. And I asked myself, are we really going to wait for something worse to happen before we do something better? No. I didn't want the next hospital visit to be the one we regret. I didn't want our love for Grandpa to be expressed only through worry and pills. That day, something shifted. I stopped thinking about food as just fuel. I started thinking about it as a message. I care, I see you. I want you here longer, healthier, happier. Because love isn't just what we feel. Love is what we cook. And that's where our real journey began. Of course, the doctors had already prescribed the usual medications. But watching Grandpa deal with the side effects broke my heart. The dizziness made him hesitate with every step. The fatigue dimmed his once bright eyes. And sometimes, he'd forget what he was saying mid-sentence. It wasn't him anymore. That's when I realized we couldn't just rely on pills. I needed something gentler, something healing. That's when I turned to food, not quick fixes in a bottle, but real meals, warm bowls, fresh flavors, familiar smells. Food that didn't just nourish his body, but brought light back to his smile. We swapped out the greasy fried pork for a simple grilled salmon fillet. Just a drizzle of olive oil, a squeeze of fresh lemon, and a touch of garlic. That was it. But something magical happened. The kitchen smelled like comfort and sunshine. The omega-3s in the salmon were doing their job, supporting his heart, gently lowering that blood pressure number. But what mattered most? The sparkle in Grandpa's eyes. He took one bite, then another. And by the end, he literally licked the plate. "You better open a restaurant before I eat all your inventory," he chuckled. We laughed so hard, someone snorted. And for a moment, we forgot about numbers, pills, and pressure. We were just a happy family, bonded by flavor and love. This dish was simple, almost too simple, but wow, was it powerful. A bowl of steamed spinach and mashed sweet potato. Spinach is packed with potassium, the quiet hero that balances out sodium and gently brings blood pressure down. And sweet potatoes, full of fiber to support digestion and magnesium to help muscles, including the heart, relax. But the real win? Grandpa's face. The colors were bright, the texture was soft, and not once did he complain about his teeth. He smiled after the first bite. "Tastes like something Mom would have made," he said. And just like that, the dish became comfort food for all of us. For breakfast, we said goodbye to the sugary cereal boxes. Instead, we embraced something quieter, gentler, warm oatmeal, slow-cooked with love. On top, we sprinkled a handful of fresh blueberries and crushed walnuts, tiny ingredients, but full of heart-healing power. Blueberries rich in antioxidants, walnuts packed with omega-3s, but more than nutrition, it was the moment that mattered. We turned breakfast into a ritual. Grandpa with his favorite mug, me pouring tea. We sat, we ate slowly. We talked about old memories, silly dreams, the weather, anything. Those mornings, they weren't just healthy, they were sacred. And for the first time in a long time, mornings didn't feel rushed. They felt like home. We made a small change that brought big results. We swapped white rice for brown rice. It took longer to cook, sure, but it also took longer to digest, keeping Grandpa's blood sugar steady throughout the day. No more spikes. No more crashes. Then we tackled the side dishes. Out went the salty, pickled vegetables that dried his mouth and spiked his pressure. In came the fresh bok choy, gently stir-fried with minced garlic and a touch of olive oil. It sizzled in the pan, fragrant and green like springtime in a bowl. Simple, clean, nourishing. Before long, Grandpa started asking for it at every meal. "This is my favorite part," he'd say with a grin, spooning up every last bite. It wasn't just food, it was healing, one plate at a time. This one caught Grandpa completely off guard. A dish so simple, yet so elegant, it could have passed for a fancy restaurant meal. We roasted slices of eggplant until they turned golden and tender, then topped them with fresh diced tomatoes and a light drizzle of olive oil. It shimmered in the dish, warm, colorful, inviting. But the best part, eggplant is full of phytonutrients that support heart health and may naturally help lower blood pressure. Olive oil brought in the healthy fats, the kind that hug your heart, not hurt it. Grandpa took one bite and raised his eyebrows. "This is medicine," he said, "but it's wearing a delicious disguise." And we all laughed because it was true. Food had become our secret weapon, a meal, a moment, a quiet miracle. 2 months. Just 2 months of eating real food, slowly, thoughtfully, with care, and Grandpa's blood pressure had dropped to 125/78. His doctor was stunned. "What did you do?" he asked. Grandpa chuckled and replied, "I fired my microwave." We all laughed, but behind the joke was something serious. We didn't just change what was on his plate. We changed how we loved him. No more rushed meals. No more reheated leftovers eaten alone in silence. We started cooking with intention, sitting with him, tasting with him. We stopped feeding him stress and started feeding him love. And somehow that made all the difference. You don't need to change everything overnight. Start small. Start with one meal. Choose something simple, something kind. And cook it not just with ingredients, but with intention, with care, with love. You'll be amazed at what one meal can do. It might soften the lines on a tired face, spark laughter across a table, or simply say, "I see you, I'm here for you." Because when you cook for someone you're not just nourishing their body. You're healing something much deeper. Start with one meal, and let that be the beginning of something beautiful. Food is not just nutrition, it's connection, it's memory, it's care wrapped in warmth. Healing doesn't always come in a bottle. Sometimes it comes in the steam of a simple soup, in a quiet dinner table, in the hands that serve and the eyes that say, "I made this for you," so begin right where you are with what you have. Boil water, chop something fresh. Sit down beside someone you love, because that one act can be the most powerful medicine of all. This video isn't just about my grandpa, it's for yours too, or your mom, or your neighbor. If you know someone over 60, this is your chance to gift them something real. Share this video, try one recipe, and sit down together. That's where healing begins.